Peace and power. You know, it's about time that somebody wake up and address a lot of issues that some of us seem to just be pretty much ignoring nowadays. From, I guess, our hip hop versus America to the me versus me and you versus you type of syndrome that's going on right now. First of all, the hip hop versus America. That is something that I feel like is just sensitive because most of the people who are standing up and attempting to defend the hip hop side of it don't even understand the true definition behind hip hop, you know. And basically, I guess I could say that I wouldn't even categorize most of the people who are defending it to be hip hop. You know, there's a difference in hip hop and ghetto journalism, which I like to call it. Ghetto journalism is just the news media for the hood, telling what's good, what's not, what's hot. You know, uh, showing life through our eyes and let them see that sometimes we look through what I like to call the telescopic view, where what they associate with normal lifestyles, normal language, and all of that and such is like looking through a telescope to us. It's closer, or it looks closer than it really is. The reality is we don't live in that glamorous lifestyle that they're trying to impose upon us. You know, our neighborhoods are full of uh, drugs, gangs, you know, prostitution, pimping, all types of things. And some people got the story all twisted when they you know speak on it and say, well, hip hop, hip hop. They put all rap, gangster rap, or you know, um, some of it is just basically spoken word. You know, and then we talk in the sense of saying conscious music. Um, I feel like the definition of conscious music can go a long ways because we're conscious of the fact that, you know, we got people in our hood that's dying behind drugs, you know, our young people. We got what is considered the Generation X, meaning the lost generation. You know what I'm saying? Between, I guess, me and my younger children, that generation in between there is lost, really. And we all have to take hold on it and say that it's our fault because we became so focused on ourselves and our standards and, you know, the me syndrome that we forgot about those children who didn't necessarily have, you know, that structure, the parents or what have you. You don't necessarily have to give birth to a child for it to be yours because if you are a part of that community, then those children are a part of you too. You know, you look at it and say, well, it's not my child, it's not my problem, this, that, and thus. But you have to look at the fact that at this age, in your 20s and 30s or 40s and 50s, you know, you're not going to always remain there. And somebody has to succeed and supersede the things that you're doing right now. And with us taking that apathetic role and just saying, like, you know, forget about it. We don't care no more. Basically, when we turn our eyes and our ears away from the cries out for help that's coming from our children. So what do they know to do? They get stuck off in this televised BS. And I call it BS because all that is televised don't do nothing but tell lies. It shows them or makes them think that, you know, I guess you know, the murders and things that happen in these movies, these people get up and walk away with thousands and millions of dollars, you know, when it's all over said and done. But out here on these streets, it's not like that. These children are losing their lives behind nothing. Paper, money. And they say money is the root of all evil. I do believe that. I truly believe that. Because everything from even, I mean, the establishment of um, where we pledge our allegiance right now, it's all established upon the principles of money. And at the root is the problem. You know what I mean? We got to stand up and show our children that where there is a will, there's a way. So, meaning you got to be willing to get out of this mentality and face reality that this is a life that we have to live. And it's not gonna, I mean, it is gonna take more than just what some of the parents are doing and are not doing. For the few that may be doing what they need to be doing, those that are not, outnumbers that to make it to whereas it's almost as if our people as a whole just don't care no more. And that don't make no sense to me. Not at all. But you got folk out here just like me that's looking for a way to help instead of hinder. Everybody talk about the problem, but the problem is that nobody is willing to go past talking about the solution. You know, talking is the easy part, and the action is the part where people don't want to stand up and take the necessary steps to do what needs to be done. To say what needs to be said is one thing. Get on TV and talk about it and get in the newspaper and people read about it. But what are you doing about it? It's senseless. People are killing folk behind nothing. Every time I pick up the paper, I'm reading about our youth killing each other over what? Nothing. And in the words of, one of my well-respected partners, nothing, that's that bullshit. And we basically focused on nothing because all the materialistic things that we have put our focus on means nothing. When we leave this earth, we can't take none of that stuff with us. You know what I mean? But what we leave behind is what's going to have an effect on whether we win, lose, or draw as a people, meaning our children that we leave behind. We have to give them that knowledge and that wisdom that it's going to take to move forward. We got to be the mediators, you know, because this quote-unquote media is doing nothing but poisoning their minds, making them believe that this is all that they can be. But it's time to stand up, people, and do something different. Make a stand. I always tell people, I said standards because I look at the problems, I look at the source of the problem, and I deal with the source head on if need be. I take a stand on my own if I have to, but I'd rather have the support of my people to stand with me. But instead of supporting one another, we going against the grain and talking against what each other are doing, and that makes no sense to me. Not at all. We got some that'll get on and glamorize this stuff that's happening. You got people that our children are looking up to getting caught with assault weapons and, thinking, is this what it takes to make you a reputable celebrity? Hell no. I disagree with that. So it's not um, hip-hop versus America because America stands on its own feet. You know what I mean? If we're going to talk about that, then that's a whole nother level because corruption begets corruption. And if America feels that, music has become corrupt, then it's because of the seeds that have been planted